Hey, my name is Chad, and this is a guitar building channel slash repair channel. And so it's been more than a minute since I last posted on this particular channel. Sorry to those of you who are following along on the 5-string fretless bass build. That's still going to happen, but in the future. Right now I am in Texas, where otherwise I live in Virginia, so I'm separated from my shop and my tools and the bass guitar build. So I took a one last temporary duty assignment, and it's a long one, in Texas. Of course, I live in Virginia, but I'm in Texas. In fact, this is my 84th day in a hotel room. And how am I going to show you anything from a hotel room? Well, I've got a major repair to do on a stringed instrument. It's not a guitar, it's called a Quatro, which is a Latin American instrument. But more about what a Quatro is once I get it repaired and all strung up. I'll tell you all about everything I know, and I'll even play a little bit. And so this is a Quatro. This particular style of Quatro has 10 strings that's set up in 5 courses. A course is anytime when a string is paired, so it plays the double note and they're set close together. That's called a course. So there's 5 courses, 10 strings. Now this particular instrument comes to me from a colleague of mine. They said that if I can't fix it, it's okay, but I can fix it. I think this is a fairly straightforward fix. It's just going to involve some glue. It's a very clean break, meaning there's not a whole lot of fibers that got twisted or bent off. It's just a snap. So all the fibers are, and the grain is relatively straight. You can see here where there wasn't a very good glue job. This is 2 pieces of wood that was glued together in a scarf joint, and I've got a whole video on a scarf joint on the bass guitar build if you go back and check that out, just to see exactly what I'm talking about. So since it's such a clean break and we have a lot of surface area that we can connect the 2 pieces back together with glue and a lot of pressure, I think we're going to have a very strong new joint, and this thing is going to be playable again. It might not look great, but it's going to work. So I just need to get these strings off, and I think I can get away with not removing the hardware. Should be pretty simple, and not going to take too long. Okay, so what we're going to need here is some Titebond 3. That's just standard PVA wood glue. I'm going to add a little super glue to the mix to speed up the bond, and then some clamps. Always got to have clamping pressure. Like I said, real simple repair. Welcome to my hotel room workbench. Before I start adding any glue, I want to inspect all these fibers and make sure there's no little slivers that are going across the grain. Anything that'll prevent the 2 pieces from mating up to their original grain tears. So like this right here, probably just want to remove that. Just kind of comb everything forward. We don't want any slivers that are going to cross the grain. Yeah, like right here. So just a few little slivers that you probably can't even see on the camera. I think we're ready to go ahead and start applying the glue. But first, maybe we should do a little test fit, just out of precaution. So looks like it's all going to fit pretty good. We've got some scarring there that will tell the story. Maybe we can dress that up a little bit. Instead of hiding it, we'll bring attention to it. We'll see. Okay, now for the tight bond. So we're going to apply a little dab of glue to every mating face, both sides. And we're going to make sure it's got perfect coverage. Every part of the break is going to get covered. Just a little. You don't want to have too much. In this case, less is more. Any squeeze out or over gluing you can take off once you get the two pieces together. Oh shit, that's too much. Depending on the environment you're in, you've got about 5 minutes to work with PVA glue before it starts setting up. But we're going to add super glue now to help the initial bonding process or the initial bonding phase. And I just want to do that around the edges, I think. Okay. Just on one side is good enough. Now, obviously with super glue, you've got significantly less time to work. Okay, let's do this. Slide it into place. Like so. Now, if I was smart, I would have had my clamps preset and ready to go, but I didn't. Now I got to work one-handed. See, this is why I got super glue. It's already connected. So now I got these pieces of scrap cardboard that I can fold up and put on the unprotected side of the clamp and protect the finish a little bit. Okay, I just want to snug this up a little bit. Not too much pressure yet, because if you put too much pressure on a joint that's like this, it might scoot. So, trying to avoid that. Okay, with any glue joint, you want to get even pressure across the entire joint. Okay, now I'm pretty confident I can go ahead and start pushing these screws down. You want a significant amount of pressure. Okay, I'm gonna get a little squeeze out along the edge. Clean that up before it dries. You can clean it up after. A little razor blade action, but it's easier to get as it's drying. But I think we'll have a successful joint here. We'll just let that dry for a couple hours and it should be good to go. So now the Quatro is out of the clamps. I'm very confident we got a strong bond. Now there is an obvious brake line that we're not going to cover up unless we strip down the entire instrument and refinish it. So there's a Japanese repair method called Kitsuji, which is all about not hiding the repair but drawing attention to it. They usually do that with like gold or silver, and sometimes it's actually gold and silver. Other times they use epoxy, but they typically apply this to pottery, plates, bowls, cups, whatever else, and I think I want to try that on this guitar. Not a guitar, it's a Quatro. So let's conduct a little experiment. I say it's an experiment, but we've only got one shot at this, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it might not look great, but it's not ruined. So we're going to be using 2-part epoxy, this gold pigment powder that I got at Michael's, and then we're going to be pushing it out through this oral syringe that I got from the Walmart pharmacy window. Just ask for them, they'll give them to you for free. And let's start mixing this up. Well, that was a disaster. Well, nearly a disaster. I think I got it in time before all the epoxy dried and cleaned it off. So yeah, I think we're gonna go with the broken look. I did highlight the cracks a little bit with the gold and epoxy. I think I'm gonna call my first attempt at Kitsuji a failure, but as far as the repair goes, I think we're gonna call it good. I think I strung these up backwards. I think they're supposed to go small, big, and then all these other strings are the exact same gauge. I might have to restring these top two ones, or top four strings. Okay, this is the Quatro. It is it's a stringed instrument from Latin America. It's a very old style guitar. Not a guitar, but a Quatro. Why is it called a Quatro? Quatro means four. Obviously, this has 10 strings. Look at all that. All those tuning pegs, 10 of them. So it's actually 10 strings and 5 courses. 5 courses. Courses means that the strings are paired. So we got identical strings here, close set together. So you play them together and you fret them together, you know, fretting. So there are 5 pairs. So identical notes here, 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 and these are octaves, set octaves apart. It's tuned in fourths. That means there are 4 notes between each open string. So this is, it's actually tuned like a 5-string bass guitar. And if you know what a 5-string bass guitar is, it's basically the top 4 strings, starting with the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So this is just like a guitar or bass guitar minus the bottom two strings that a 6-string guitar player is used to, and the extra string is the low string up on top, that's the B. So starting with the top string, that's the B string, and there are 4 notes to the next string, which is the E string. So it's B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, that's 4 notes. Then E on the next string right here. So E, F, F sharp, sorry, yeah, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. A is the 3rd string, A sharp, B, C, C sharp. Then the next string is D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, back to B. So this B matches the top B. Pretty cool, right? So these instruments are mostly plucked or picked. I'm kind of liking the strumming. Alright. That's a full D chord right there. Now the Quatro, which means 4, originally started with 4 strings, but over time and evolution and the different countries having their own influences on it, this is typically what you would find in the country of Puerto Rico, the 10-stringed 5-course Quatro. So I think the only thing that is 4 about this is it's about 4 feet long. I don't know, but I really like this instrument. I'm glad I was able to bring it back to a playable state. I'm really confident in the repair job here. If this breaks again, it will not be on the joint. It's going to be broken somewhere else. I kind of wanted to make that Kitsuji look with the gold weld look to it, but you saw that obviously failed. It's still got some gold sparkle to the brakes, and it still kind of has that effect. So at least there's that. So let that be known to anybody who has a broken guitar. Just because it's at such a drastic location with the head completely broken off, doesn't mean you have to throw it away. It also doesn't mean you have to go spend $400 at a luthier to get it repaired. You just need some wood glue and a set of clamps, and hopefully you got a good clean brake to make a good joint again. So if you liked what you saw here, go ahead and tell me about it, and if you've got a broken guitar of your own, then let me know if you now have the confidence to go ahead and make that repair yourself. Thanks for watching. Bye.